says going live. I don't know how true it is, but let's see if I can get my a little brighter. Anyway, hi, it's Alan again. I'm trying to get the lighting a little better. And just again about being a TI, and I was just watching Full Measure. I have it taped on my playlist, created playlist, and just how the levels of control and manipulation that the officials do in this program, whether it be remote neural monitoring, which, as nutty as this sounds, when they have the ability to read thoughts, it's in real time, and they can catch in real time your reactions. What happens, they were able to decipher, even if it's a memory or an imagination, they can decipher, and you can hear them through V2K, them discussing what you are thinking privately to yourself. And I was watching Full Measure about the support study on babies, premature babies, not getting their oxygen. And instead of helping the parents, how the bioethicist community went into protection mode of the people that are paying them, not to protect us, but to protect the government doing the abuse, doing this non-consensual. If they do consent to signing a paper, it is deceptive. It is very deceptive. They don't give the parents full knowledge, because what kind of parent is going to sign their premature baby up to be, if there's risk for torture and abuse and not enough oxygen? Now they're playing with my electronic harassment. Here's another thing. They can make it to where you can't view your electronics at home. It sounds like such a small thing. They can get your thing to work, and then 5 minutes later, take that ability away. It sounds like such a small catty thing, but they do it all the time. And when you are a TI, you get used to it. It's just a part of what they do and their harassment. So it makes you thankful for the times where, but this is just what they do. And again, I always spent my life respecting people, just everybody, treating everybody well. Didn't matter if they had positions of authority or just like myself, a CNA. I studied to be a pastor, but the ministry, but I became a CNA, and it was just perfectly fine with me. I'm keep on doing this with anyway. It's just part of what they do. And when you realize, I went 30 years knowing something was wrong with my side, and you see doctors, they send you to specialists if they're good, and mine did send me to specialists, and was thankful for that, and gave me medication. But of course, nobody told me that I was part of a program, a torture program. Who would have thought? Nobody told me about it. Nobody who would have consented to that. What parent would? What doctor would? Well, I guess if they're getting paid. And it's torture to the point of trying to get people to kill themselves. And just target individuals. The way they manipulate and control people, and I might not cover all the bases on this, but they have that ability to manipulate what you watch. If you're looking at something on the internet, to control this page not found, but that can happen to anybody too. But that ability, or to put random thoughts. Now how this stuff is done. I admit I don't know-ness, but I do know it could be Pfizer, IV2K guy. But that these levels of manipulation, pretending to be people, and I'm guessing it's Fusion Center, most people that are TIs, target individuals. And it's hard to say because a lot of the people, it's like when I went to the rally in Portland, a lot of the people that were, if you try to find their name online, as far as making anything current about the TI community, you're shit out of luck. They're not making anything, or they're done after the 2019-2020 year. After an extra year, they did something wonderful, and thank God, we'll always be thankful for them for doing that. The 2019 and the rallies in Chicago and Sacramento, and it helped a lot of people, but I really don't know how big the population of TIs really is. It's like January 6th or the Michigan kidnap governor plot. They tried to make it sound like it was regular people doing it, but majority of them were government officials, FBI. And same with January 6th. It was FBI and police trying to coax people into doing this type of behavior. And so how many people are actual TIs? I mean, and how many are just people that are told what to say and manipulate people into, how much of it they can control through propaganda and paying. Ever since the church committee in 74, 75, I guess, when it was revealed how much they pay. I mean, they pay journalists and on all these stations, conservative, liberal, it doesn't matter. When they call it fake news, it's not just, and then they're all fake news in the sense that they have true stories and they have fake stories, or stories that are just put out there for the stations to cover, so that we don't get bored. And it's normally these operas of having someone to hate. Conservatives will hate liberals. Liberals are told to hate conservatives, and especially anything to do with Trump. If you love Trump, then it's like he's someone they love to hate. For liberals on CNN, their ratings dropped when he wasn't president because he wasn't talked around about as much. And people love to hate somebody. It's like Roger Stone said, hate is stronger than love. That'll bring people if they can have an enemy to fight against. So anyway, they the way that they can control people and do control people is gang stalking, some bringing anonymous people into your day, into your life, so that they can get evidence and they can use your computer to try to get things, so that if they were called upon to, how do you know this about me? If, oh, well, you wrote this or you talked to somebody. But the truth is, this remote neural monitoring, thought reading I wouldn't have guessed such a thing to exist. With all the advancements of technology, they do have that ability, but they don't want to bring that out to the regular public yet. They can show videos of people that are paralyzed, that can't move or can't talk, and show they can only think, but the computer can read their thought and put it on the screen, and it's wonderful. God bless them for that. But to admit that they've got mind reading equipment at that level where they can in real time put it out there, I'm here to tell you they can do it. And they can do it for wonderful things like that, or they can do it to torture people, like in the target individual community. And we don't know. It's not just they have it in, different groups. They have it in Brussels. They have ICATOR. They have different groups, targeted justice, but there's so much fighting in between. And again, I think that fighting in between is manipulated by people involved in the government, because obviously, I'm not saying, I mean, it's got real people, real target individuals in it, and I believe that are in it and start, help us. But there's no doubt that perps or try to get involved too. I mean, it's just a well-known thing, and when you're a target individual, that they got people that get in there that try to manipulate. And I'm not into. I think it's good. Even the people that were faking it, I was thankful that they had something to talk about when it came to target individuals. I know that their intention is not good, but to have somebody to talk with about this, I liked. And I will never go into saying people or their names about, I'll just, if somebody's who's an out and out person that is a fake, I mean a person like a chief handler that's out and out to hurt people or intimidate or pressure them. I just think there's a bunch of chief handlers that are at the fusion center, and they're just paid to do it. There's not one chief handler. And I really don't know. It used to be there was 2,000 TIs, and then Dr. Duncan, in his interview with Tyrone Dew, said it was 2,000, and then in one of those books it was 10,000. Some people speculate it could be millions, but I don't know. It's like I think we'd hear a lot more about it. I'm going to say in the thousands, because to have this, something like that, but with the vaccine, I won't even go into that, because when I started finding out that for 30 years, that's what it was Havana syndrome, being hit with these electrical impulses, directed energy weapons, implanted little zip zaps that somebody could control from miles away. And then after 30 years and I was still alive, they decided to up the ante with V2K, and then these, it sounds too weird to be true, but it is true. And but they do this to people. And but I haven't lived a life that I'm really. I just studied a lot of books on religion and apologetics about religion and atheism, and trying to what can be proven, what is mysterious, what is on faith, what is reason, that type of stuff. But I also thought that my side was always hurt, and I thought, well, maybe it's because of my side pain. So anyway, it's about 7:15. I always do this. I'm going to make my mom some dinner real quick. So I'll talk to you later, B2 guy. Okay?